Hello traders, welcome back to the Stop Hunt Syndicate. My name's Greg and today we're going to take a look at the pound Swiss, and this video is in response to one of my viewers, that is Dr. Z. Big shout out, kudos for you. He posted a question to me, unfortunately 6 days ago now. I did respond, but it was 5 or 6 hours later, and that was, Greg, what do you think about the pound Swiss H1, so 1 hour chart to go short? And he provided a trading view chart, which I will put up. I'll put a link in the description box below, and what I'll do is I'll do a quick screen flash of his chart. And he was asking basically, so if we look at the chart, we're on the pound Swiss 1 hour, and this, granted it's a few days ago, so ignore all of this that is to the right hand side of the screen where this line is. He was asking if this was a good level to short the pound Swiss on the 1 hour chart, and I did respond. It was 5 hours later, so I'm not sure if this had already occurred, this pin bar or sell-off, but we'll just go through it. And I responded with yes, it's a good level. So we'll just run through it real quick. So you've got some selling here, a little bit of selling here, especially with this bar. You've got a little bit of selling here, and we've had this push up, and we've had this nice pin bar, which is obviously had some selling at the top. But any of the one that was involved here with their stops tight above this level, they would have obviously got creamed. So this was certainly a good level to short off. If we look just above it, this 126.80, 126.82, if we fly out to a higher time frame, then this has actually been a pretty decent level, and that will come into play more a little bit later, perhaps a little bit lower. It's still pretty decent. There's probably a little bit of a zone there, but anyway, bear that in mind just for a little bit later on. Let's fly back down to the 15. So yes, with the information at hand, okay, and then the price action, this was a great level to short off of. And as always, I always advise that potentially you take some profit at the bottom. So sometimes these stop hunts do follow through straight away. They'll just blast through the bottom and they'll roll on. Other times they will bounce from the bottom, and as you can see here, that's exactly what we've done. So if you shorted on this, say, 15-minute, I think it was a 60-minute question, so it's a 1 hour chart question, so let's just stick to what we have on the 1 hour, and that is this pin here. So yeah, a couple of pips below this low, with a stop above the high. So if you'd have shorted, say, here, then yes, you may not have pitched out right at the bottom, but let's say you got out at sort of 47, so you certainly got a one-to-one in that respect. As you can see here, we didn't push through. It came right back up and tested this level again before falling off and actually breaking the bottom, but then it just kind of consolidated at the bottom. So if you did hold a position on, you would have got a little bit more out of it. But the fact that this came up and retested this level again certainly suggests it's got a little more significance than initially thought. And what this actually done, and I will run through that now, is we push up, we didn't break the highs, we push back down, we push back up again, and then we've had this big push up right up into this 126.80-ish level, and then we've had a reversal and a push back down below the level, and we've sold off since. So if you just take that box, knowing that this is potentially a stop hunt and we've retested that level again, if you take this box up here, it starts to make a whole lot more sense. So we've sold off from this level here. We've sold off from this level here again, looking left, sold off from these highs again, and then we've pushed up, retested this major support and resistance, and we've immediately sold off again. So in that respect, the original analysis wasn't incorrect. You certainly would have made money off of that level. I don't know why this won't drag across rather than, there we go. With regards to the initial level, it was certainly good. You would have made 45, 50 points off this level. If you'd have held it, you would have made a little bit more. But the fact that it developed should get the alarm bells ringing. The fact that we pushed up so high, failed to break a new high and pushed back down, that there is potentially something bigger coming. Now, I'm not going to say that this is going to do anything different, but certainly all those stops, or any of those stops above or around this level, got absolutely hammered by this bad boy here. Sold off immediately, had a little bit of a rally, sold off, had a little bit of a rally, sold off. So what I'd be looking at now is certainly for this pair to continue lower. Obviously initially a retest of this low, but if we jump out to the 240, there's definitely a couple of levels in here that you want to be paying attention to if you do get that break to follow it lower. Nice little level in here, support resistance, support resistance, support resistance. One not too far below it, support resistance, support resistance, and this one being a major one right here. Certainly if you're in that position, it's worth holding. We get this break, I'd keep an eye. You're likely to get a reaction off of this level, but exactly how much we get, we may retest this underside before obviously pushing lower. But I do expect this pair to continue lower. Now it's cleared out all those stops. Anyway, traders, I hope you found this sort of content useful. If you do, please give it a like and give it a share. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Z for pointing this out. Great level, great initial level. At the end of the day, we can only trade off of what we see at the time. It would have been a good trade nonetheless. We would have secured a minimum of 1-to-1. However, it did develop into something bigger and a bigger level, and we retested this major support and resistance, which is now selling off rather well. Alright traders, trade safe, and I'll see you in the next one.